Hello, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we discussed about dictionaries, what are the use of dictionaries, how to use dictionaries, and what are the real-time examples of dictionaries. Okay, and also we saw what are the different methods or functions available in dictionary to do some modification to loop. Okay, so in this video, in continuation to the different data types, so we will be learning one more data structure called tuple. Okay, and tuples are commonly used when data should not be changed after the creation. Okay, so it means where we don't want to change the data. Okay, so now I'm creating my data. Let's say I'll write some data as ABC something. Okay, so I do some modification on top of that. So even though if I do modification, it should not change. Okay, so it should hold the actual values. Okay, so in this kind of a scenarios, we use tuples. Okay, so where and all we use this tuple? So basically, we use tuples in automation frameworks, API testing, database results, or some configuration data where will most of the details will not change. So in those cases, we use tuple. Okay, so okay, so let's before we start discussing merchant tuples, let me create a file. Okay, I'll just mention tuple discussion. Okay, yeah. So again, what is tuple? Okay, so tuple is an ordered collection of items. Okay, so when I say ordered collection of items, it will have a index based, and it can contain both. Uh, it's kind of a mixture of data types. Okay, so unlike list, its tuple is not a immutable. Okay, so whereas list is immutable, where we can modify, update, change anything in the list, whereas in tuple it's not possible. Okay, okay, okay. So this is what tuple. Okay, so what are the basic characteristics of tuples? So the basic characteristics of a tuple is like ordered. Okay, it's a immutable. It allows duplicates and faster than list. Okay, when we say faster than list, so the list is going to have different memory for each value. Okay, but whereas the memory what it takes, the tuple takes is very less compared to list, and it's very faster to access also. Okay, so this is all about a bit theory of a tuple. So now let's jump into do some action. Okay, in PyCharm. Okay, so we'll take a fruit. Okay, let's say so I will be writing like this: fruits, apple, uh, banana, orange. Okay, so this is how I'm going to write a tuple. Always tuple will be with the open braces like this. Okay, and with the variable name, and it will contain any strings. Okay, so similarly, if I want to have, okay, so similarly, even I can have uh, mixed fruits. Okay, so anyhow, it will not. Here, what I do here, write apple 12, banana, and 20. So what I'm saying, it's a mixture of fruits and numbers. Okay, so the name I just give as a mixed fruits, but again we can give it as a alphanumerics, something like that. Okay, so now I want to access the elements in the tuple. So how I'm going to access? So as I said, so these are all ordered. Okay, so each value contains some index. Okay, so these are all my index. So how am I going to access this to get the first element. Okay, so to get the first element of my mixed fruits, so I need to access index 0. So let's say print of mixed fruits of 0. Okay, so if I do this, so what I'm expecting is I should get as an apple. Let's run. Okay, you can see here I'm seeing it as apple. So if I want to access banana, so I will give it to, I will modify the index to 2. Okay, so now we can see I'm getting the banana. Similarly, as in list, so if you want to get the last element, okay, so to get the last element, we go with the negative index, or we can go with the positive index also. So in order to get the last index, so I'm using -1, so it will give me the last value. So you can see here, it's a 20. Okay, so similarly in list, tuple also support slicing. Okay, so if I want to print any value in between 12 and banana, so I will be writing it as 1 to 2. Okay, so if I run this, okay, 1 2, it is give mm, yeah. So it now we are printing from 1 to 3. It means in between 12 to banana. So we are printing it. Okay. So similarly, if I want to repeat the same word, uh, let's say I want to print a tuple with 3 with the consecutive numbers, not consecutive, repetitive. Okay. So if I want to do that, print. Sorry. Okay. Done. Start 3. So if I do this, so it's a single. Okay. So you can see now it's a repetitive. I can write a tuple with repetitive values by multiplying it. So it will not do any mistakes. So now you want to count the numbers. Okay. So how many numbers we have in a uh, outside tuple. Okay. So I will say numbers equal to 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is what I wrote. So if I want to print just a count, so count of this numbers count. Okay, so I do count of, okay, what I need to count is I want to count 3. Okay, so if I do this, it says 2. So number of 3 in this list or in this tuple is 3. Okay, so number of count of 3 is 2. Okay, so that's what it printed here. So this is how we are going to print uh, the number count of a number. So now we'll see why tuples are not immutable. If you know in Python, in list, we used to add number of is 1. So number of 1 is nothing but here it's, I need to change the value of 1 to 10. Okay. So if I do this and I will print numbers. So if I do this, so what I expect is as it is a immutable, it should not modify. Okay. So let's see. It says type error. Okay, so basically it's saying object does not support item assignment. It means it's not a immutable. So we cannot add any numbers or we cannot modify. Okay, so uh, that's what it's saying as a type error. So now we see packing and unpacking. Okay, so this is a packing, whatever written, right? This is a packing of a number or a tuple. So now to give more example, what I do, I will I will take some name for person. Okay, so I will write Sachin. So I will take his age 25 and he is from Bangalore. Okay. So now I'm going to untuple this, right? So basically first is name, second is age, third is city. So name, age, city is equal to person. So I'm assigning a tuple to individual variables. Okay. So now I'm going to print all these variables, name, print age and city. So if I do this, you can see. So initially when I wrote, it is a individual single tuple, right? It's a tuple basically. So now I'm unpacking with the name, age and city, and I'm printing the same values here, right? So you can see this is what packing and unpacking in tuple. Okay. So what are the real examples? Okay, I'll just take one or two real example. So let's say resolution. Okay, so resolution is nothing but have a TV. Okay, my TV is whether it's a HD or a full HD or a 4K. Okay, when I say HD, so it will have the resolution is 192011080. Okay, so what is this 192011080? 1920 is width and height. Okay, so width, height is equal to my resolution. Okay, so if I'm going to print width and resolution, okay, so you can see it is saying 1920 and 1080. Similarly, so you can take any other examples also. So I will take another example, a phone. Okay, so when I say phone, I will say device is equal to. So we say, let's say Samsung. Okay, so in Samsung, I say it's a yes 26. Okay, and price I will say some 85,000. Okay, so now if I want to print device, I'll just write it in same. Okay, so if I want to print device of 0, 0 is nothing but Samsung. So I will print it. You can say Samsung. So similarly, we can add either we can follow these steps like unpacking method, or we can directly take a indexing method. Okay. So yes. So these are the basic of a tuple and how it works. And on top, in during your interviews, so maybe you'll get most of the questions based on whether what is the difference between tuple, list, okay, and why we need to use tuple, maybe what is the use case of a tuple, how to convert a tuple to list and list to tuples, all these things. Okay, so hope you like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and like the video. Thank you.